Welcome back to another video, everyone. It is very early for me right now. I'm up really early today because we're taking a motorcycle ride down to Georgia for the weekend. It's a friend of mine's wedding and we're kind of doing a whole weekend trip to celebrate. Before you click away, this is not going to be a wedding video, to be clear. I'm not shooting the wedding. I'm not making videos at the wedding at all, but we are going to be riding down and going on a group ride with a bunch of our other friends, which I think should be really great. So we're going to try to get some video with that with the new Insta360 X4 that I picked up literally yesterday, and I'm really excited to see what kind of footage I can get with this. And we'll also be doing some photography as well around the area. Apparently it's very beautiful down there. I think we're going to try to do a mix of maybe some people or portrait photography, we'll see, and then also some nature. So we're going to be taking the Hasselblad X2D along with the 28p and 90v lenses. I'm not going to document too much of the ride down there because it's about just 3.5 hours of riding and I'm going to be exhausted from that. Yes, there's people like, you know, Grainy Days, shout out to Jason, who do massive rides on their motorcycles, but he has a cruiser, which is definitely built for more of kind of long distance riding. I have sport bikes, so I'm going to die. And before someone in the comments says something about like, oh, I did, you know, 22 hours straight on a sports bike, cool, man, you get a gold star in masochism. I don't know what to tell you. It's rough. Yeah, not a very long intro on this. Need to kind of get packed up and going, but really excited for the weekend. I think it should be a good trip with friends. And again, I apologize for looking as tired as I'm sure I look right now.
Alright, I can confidently say that whatever plans or ambitions I had for this video completely went out the window once I finally got down there and we kicked off the weekend. So to start, remember in the intro when I was saying that we all were riding down to Georgia? Yeah, I was the only one that actually rode my motorcycle down. Everyone else had big trucks that they trailered in the bikes. So as soon as everyone else got in, they were good to go. They were ready to do big group rides, and I just spent 3.5 hours on my bike. But nonetheless, we all jumped on our bikes, we headed out for a ride, and honestly, most of the weekend we were actually on our motorcycles. So I had almost no time to shoot any video other than some of this bike-mounted stuff that you see with the X4. I'm really happy that I wound up getting the X4, kind of for this reason, but also editing 360 footage is brand new to me, so some of these aren't going to be the best clips. But I digress. Let's talk about what this video actually is going to be. Thankfully, all of my friends, in my opinion, have really good taste and have some amazing motorcycles. So I'm going to be interspersing a lot of motorcycle shots as well as some portraiture that I was able to take. Later on, you'll see a little bit of nature photography that I got kind of around the Airbnb that we were staying at, but there's not too much. Pretty much the whole weekend we either spent on our bikes, at the wedding, or kind of out other places that it wasn't conducive for me to break away from the group and try to get any photography done. However, it was a really fun weekend. I had an absolute blast, and I'm really happy that one of my friends was actually able to give me a ride back to Charlotte in his truck so that I didn't have to ride back another 3.5 hours after being on our bikes all weekend long. I'm recording this the day after we got back, and I was so sore today. On top of just riding for that long, there was also a huge storm that blew through the area for most of Sunday. As it was just riding from my friend's place back to mine, I got absolutely soaked. There was definitely some sketchy parts to riding back, and I'm really thankful that nothing happened. I just was so committed to try to get back home at that point that I kind of was maybe a little riskier than I should have been riding in the weather, but everything's fine. I'm safe. We didn't have any issues, so we're all good. Oh man, it is the end of the day now. Well, it's around 7. So I think we're still going to try to figure out something to do for dinner, but we have been riding around all day long. It's been a lot of fun. Everyone else trailered in their bikes. I was the only one that actually rode down from Charlotte, and so we're all tired. I'm exhausted, but we've made it to our Airbnb for where we're going to be staying for the weekend. We're gonna wander around a little bit the property and just try to take some photos. Not entirely sure what the plan is for tonight, but yeah, it's a really beautiful area. We're right on a lake, I guess. It's kind of been raining on and off all day today, so we were up in Helen, Georgia, which was really cool. I'd never been up there before, but it did start to rain on us, so trying to stay dry on the bikes was a little bit of a challenge. But again, we had a really great day today. I'm excited to kind of see what the rest of the weekend has for us. Yeah, like I said, gonna wander around a little bit, try to get some photos. If I get any that I like, you'll see them here.
So I gotta say, now that it's getting a little bit later, it's cool. It's really beautiful here. I'm sorry if there's a little bit of wind noise, but the wind's picking up, as you can see. But I've been shooting a little bit with the X2D and the 28p, and it's been really beautiful out here.
During one of our rides, we stopped off at this old mechanic shop that was established back in the 40s, and it finally gave me a chance to actually get my camera out and get some shots, both of the bikes and also some of the people that I was down there with. I'm sad that unfortunately not our whole group was able to make it for this ride, so I didn't get shots of everybody, but I'm still really happy with the shots that I got from here. It was a lot of fun kind of photographing both my friends with their motorcycles. This was like midday in Georgia. It's hot. We're all just dripping in sweat from riding all day. But we had such a good time that we really didn't care. I'm really thankful for the whole weekend, not just being invited to the wedding, but for being able to spend some time with some really great people and just have a blast on our bikes, enjoying the country out there, having a really great time celebrating these two getting married, and like I said, just spending time with friends. So while this may not be the best video ever, I really wanted to showcase some of the shots that I got because it's something that really means a lot to us. A lot of people asked us throughout the whole weekend actually, like, oh wow, so you guys all met through motorcycles? And I think that's actually kind of the coolest thing about it, is most of us have vastly different day jobs, different interests, and while we might have some overlap here and there, I probably would have never met any of these guys had it not been for our motorcycles. It's this really cool thing that if you know, it's something that kind of binds you together in a way. It's a way to find common ground with people that you otherwise maybe would have never met. And because of that, you wind up meeting some really interesting, great people. It's hard to kind of explain if you aren't in a community like that, but having that kind of common tie together, how do I even explain this? It gives you an opportunity to kind of have common ground, and then from there you learn about the rest of the individual. And it's been really cool to get to know some of these guys even more, especially on this weekend. I really hope that a lot of people can find things like this for themselves. It doesn't have to be motorcycles, obviously, but any kind of interest that helps you get to know other people in a way that you would have probably never met otherwise. It can be a really powerful thing, and I think that that's something I'm really grateful for, of finding not just the community here and meeting people through it, but just of finding this passion in itself. It's kind of funny, I often think of myself as more of an introvert. I genuinely enjoy doing things on my own, going out by myself and kind of having space to do what I want when I want to do it. But then you have a weekend like this where you're surrounded by friends constantly, 24 hours a day for 3 days. You barely have any alone time, and it's just constantly go, 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 go. You're on to the next thing, you're going to the next venue, you're doing the next thing. And while I was really tired from the weekend, I had an absolute blast. I'm really, really thankful that I was able to bring my bike down there and have this experience with everyone else. And as much as people say, oh, you know, humans are social creatures, and also as much as other people, myself included, will also say, yeah, but I like being on my own, or I like doing things by myself. While that's still true, and I do enjoy that, there is something really wonderful about being able to have friends that you can go out and do stuff with, get in a little bit of trouble, and just do something that you all really enjoy. Anyway, that's enough of my rambling. As I said in the intro, I really didn't know what to expect from this video, but whatever this is was not what I had in my head, I guess. I really didn't have a lot of time to shoot almost any video other than what I captured when we were on the bikes. And as I mentioned before, I had no interest in trying to either record video or shoot any photos at the wedding. I wanted it to be kind of their private event and not get in the way or interfere with what I was trying to do. But I still wanted to put this together and hopefully showcase some of the photography from the weekend with motorcycles and our friends, and maybe even inspire you to get out there and go on an adventure on your own. You know, a lot of this channel is not meant to showcase the best photography that I've ever taken. A lot of it, the photos sometimes aren't even that good. But ultimately, I really like the idea of bringing you all along on some adventures. Generally, I'm a pretty private person, and that might sound counterintuitive given what I'm doing right now, but I wanted to get out of that comfort zone to share not just my photography with you all, but glimpses into my life as well. I want to thank all of you for the recent support, for subscribing to my videos lately. I really appreciate all the engagement, and I'm looking forward to continuing the channel with videos like this and maybe some more polished ones in the future. Thank you all for watching, and I hope that you can go on your own adventures very, very soon.